We'll circle around. Get Gavin's beautiful week. I like falafels and Mad Max.
Yeah.
That's really just the episode title now.
Falafels
and Mad Max. Perfect.
I finished Mad Max and I felt falafel.
Oh
God, man. You need your own like sub channel on this. Just Trevor dad jokes all the time.
It would just be. I mean, people
to
try
our
to.
listeners, this was officially going to be my last one.
The adult beverages are poured, the kids are asleep. It's time for New Dad Gaming, a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives. My name is Trevor, and I have a 1-year-old.
My name is Gavin, and I have a 1-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I got a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old.
Jeez, that sounds... You okay, Jeff? That sounds pretty down. Got a 3-year-old and a
6-year-old and a 3-year-old. They're wearing me down.
So let's see, that is 12 years and 15 years respectively until they're out of the house.
Hopefully. We'll see.
Yeah, try 35 and 36.
No.
Yeah. Still in diapers too. It's weird.
Yeah, I'm getting an apartment.
That ain't broke.
Gentlemen, how was your week in fatherhood and gaming?
I finished Mad Max, and baby likes falafel.
I love it.
Like the
Done.
which came first, the finishing of the game or the discovery of your kid's falafel habit?
Falafel.
Falafel came first. Okay.
Yeah, because she liked hummus, and it's basically just hummus cake.
Kids love hummus, eh? Like my kids love it.
Wait, kids like hummus?
Oh yeah, like scoopfuls.
Yeah. In their mouth? Like,
yeah, man. Try it out. Baba Ganoush too.
Oh yeah, except then they get stinky garlic breath.
Yeah.
Given the amount of stink that comes off them anyways, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's a compliment.
Pretty good week. Baby had some new taste sensations this week, which was fun. She's digging it. So, what else? We went to the zoo on Friday, and it was nice because it's the off season, so it wasn't a madhouse. It was actually quite quiet. So no big lines or anything. Got to go see some pandas and stuff, and just have a nice morning together. And then I finished off Mad Max, which was a very good game. Like everything about it, plot wise, had some neat little aspects about it. And I was like, okay, you got me. That's good. All in all, really enjoyable experience. So I highly recommend it, especially anybody who's a fan of the series. I felt it was quite true to the character. The voice actor was pretty good. There was a couple sentences where I'm like, oh, but at the end of the day, like, how many lines of dialogue did this actor have to do? So it's like, yeah, cut them some slack. All in all, it was some solid work. I would highly recommend it. It was really fun. And I'm trying to think of anything else. Went for a nice little picnic at the waterfront the other day with some friends. That was fun. Took the dog with us. He had a blast. He's still sleeping it off. It was a pretty good work week. It was like work and family and gaming, good balance of everything, which was nice.
Mad Max, and that game is, especially right now, it's coming up on every type of sale that I'm seeing. Like it's like around, I'm seeing it for like what the $8 to $9 range on Steam these days.
Yeah.
Like a super sale, like get it. Like it's kind of getting to the Shadow of Mordor territory where it's like, why have you not purchased this game yet? Please, please take this game.
Which is also a game that was like just thoroughly enjoyable. They're both like, I don't know which mad person in accounting thinks it's a good idea to lowball the price on them so much, but like honestly, people pick them up. They're worth it, especially if they're on sale. Like it's worth the money.
I think it's like it's kind of like Skyrim, that like all the Steam sales that had it for like $4.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, really? That's a lot of game for $4. And especially like there's some, when I got it, I think I got it for $5, and it included the Legendary Pack or like all the DLC and everything.
Yeah.
nuts. Like just like this for $5. Like
Yeah.
this is chaos. Like
It's
that's
pretty insane. Actually, before I forget, there is a sale right now that I just took advantage of, and I highly recommend it to anybody looking to get into game design. Humble Bundle is doing a Game Maker sale,
Oh, cool.
and you can pick up like pretty well close to $2,000 worth of software for like 15 bucks. It's an insanely good deal. And yeah, you get all of the modules that you need for exporting for iOS and Android and all that, along with just like the open, the DRM free version. You also get in the package source code to a bunch of games, so you can kind of peek behind the curtain and see how they did what, kind of help you out as you're learning the software itself. So anybody looking to start designing games and start working in that, I couldn't recommend it more. It's an amazingly good price. It's almost criminally
like
low.
are the tools up to date? I remember there's this one bundle. I think I might have even bought it, but it was all. It felt in looking at it, it seemed like it was all like last year's software. Like it wasn't like the new version or an up to date version of it. Is this fairly recent?
Yeah, I think it's the newest version.
Right.
And I think with Game Maker, it's because of it being more of an engine sort of thing. Like they're pretty good about not paywalling everything. And even so, like to have this amount of content ready for that price is even just for a learning tool is totally worth it. So, yeah.
That's pretty cool. I'll piggyback off that because that was the game I was going to talk about this week. Was I kickstarted Hyper Life Drifter
Oh,
a while back, and I think they used that Game Maker Studio to create the game.
Whoa, Hyperlight Drifter is made in Game Maker Studio.
Yeah, and I think Hotline Miami too. I'll have to double check that one. Yeah, like some pretty big games.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Well, Alone with You was.
There you go.
And
Critically acclaimed Alone with You.
so yeah,
Game of the Year contender Alone with You.
When it comes to indie games, it's pretty well Unity and Game Maker. Like those are the top two kind of work platforms that are being used.
That's pretty cool.
As far as like game engine goes, like Game Maker is great. Like it's a 2D engine, but it does a lot, and it's very economical too. So it's not like financially, but just like you can do a lot with it, but it's not as because it's not 3D and stuff. But anyways, I'm not going to get into too many details because I know programmers out there will be pushing their glasses up and being like, point of order, you said that wrong, you silly artist. But anyways, yeah, Game Maker is a very, very widely used game development software. So it's definitely worth picking up because it can do a whole bunch and do it quite reliably.
Good tip. I like it.
Yep.
I think that might convince me to pick it up. I'd seen it. I wasn't so sure, but hearing that, knowing that Alone with You and Hyperlight and Miami was made with those, like, geez, that's very interesting. So on my free dad time and on my game.
Yeah. Right, you could take care of like a pixel baby. We can make a game out of it.
There we go.
You have dad jokes that you have to solve, like riddles.
Oh yeah, how do you make the best dad joke out of these 4 words? There's some sort of dad AI that like judges it. Like
boss battle.
You could have made people. It's probably like a moan rating where it says like and based on that, like that's how good it was. It's like I didn't get enough like boos and jeers. What's the name of it when everyone's like, no, it's awful. The particular word for that type of.
I think that was us when you made the joke. Like,
yeah, but what's the name of it when people like make that like pained cry after somebody makes a terrible joke? There's a particular name for it. It's not moan. It's Trevor gasp.
No.
So Jeff, yourself, what was your week in gaming and fatherhood?
Well, yeah, as I mentioned before, Hyperlight Drifter. Got a chance to play that on PS4. It came out on PC a while ago, but I kickstarted it for the PS4 version. So Pretty cool. It's again an indie game made by small studio. It was one person that actually had like a heart condition, and he wanted to make this game kind of about him and about his experience. I think him going through getting a pacemaker and dealing with a heart issue with game design was a great deal for him. And the game is really cool. If you like a techno soundtrack kind of beat, it's got that to it, and the visuals are very retro, so like a Pixel Super Nintendo kind of feel to it. And I'm having a blast with it. It's difficult. Like, it's not an easy game, which I think these things tend to be, right? So they'll send you off to one area and you can kind of beat that boss, but then it kind of doesn't hold your hand anymore, so you have to feel it out for yourself. So it's kind of neat that way too. It's very symbol heavy, so there's not much text telling you where to go and what to do, but it's very open world and like an open map, and you go around trying to discover what your character's doing, why is he there, what does he have to do, and it's kind of a neat little retro game. So highly recommend that. I think it's on the store pretty cheap, about $10 or so. In fatherhood, on a positive note, because I think I make fun of my kids a lot.
This is a place to vent. You see, this is therapy. It's weekly.
Yeah.
What happened?
I'll redeem myself. My son, who's in grade 1, we got an email from his teacher today saying that he has been sitting down and playing and talking to and being this kid's friend in class, which is really nice to see. It turns out this kid has Down syndrome. So he was very nice to him for the first week of school. And then today, actually, when kids were pushing this other friend around and he fell down and was crying, Jude ran over and hugged him and made him feel better and started talking to him and kind of, dismissed the negative situation that that kid was in. So we got a nice email from the teacher saying she was really surprised and proud of him. So it was kind of neat to see that, parenting pays off.
Yeah, that's a proud papa moment when you find out like your kid's a schoolyard superhero.
Yeah, so it's hopefully that continues.
Yeah.
Because we've had our run-ins with the law sometimes. So not to say
Like,
police.
There's a whole the thieving.
Yeah, it's
Maybe he's like he's one of those like, wily rogues who's like got a heart of gold, but
Yeah.
Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Rough exterior, but in truth, he's just an absolute kind soul and just
Perfect.
misunderstood.
Yeah,
He'll
exactly.
steal every Nutrigrain bar in sight.
Right.
When it
That's
comes
his
to
vice. Yeah. Yeah. That I'll deal with that. That's okay. That's fine. But no, it was kind of cool to hear about and see that hopefully develop through the course of his life. So
Good for him, man. That's awesome. What a great story.
yeah.
Congratulations. That's that must make you and the wife really, really proud. Like that's
Yeah, it was
an
a good
amazing thing to hear when like your kids being like that. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we had to he was asleep and we had to kind of wake him up and be like, yeah, we got a note from your teacher and you did a good job today. So no, it was good
How
to
did his face go? It's like, we got a note from your teacher. He's like,
it was like fear. It was like,
and then it's like, it
oh,
was
and he's
good.
like, I've been good. I don't know what I've been good. So he was trying to downplay it. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. So
And then you slid him a Nutrigrain bar. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
keep going.
don't check my bed. There's Nutrigrain bars there.
Say, no thanks, I'm good. I got a bunch.
Yeah.
So no, it was good to hear. It was good dad moment there.
It's awesome.
Proud papa. That's awesome.
How about you, Trev?
So I had a sampling of games. It was a rough work week, but I found myself with a lot of tiny little bits, and then accordingly just kind of went for a wide sampling of things. I'd kind of gotten to a point with No Man's Sky where I'd achieved a few things that I'd wanted to, and still positive on the game, still liking it. Still the pangs of sadness when I read about the turmoil and the negativity online, but not having a great time. But I got to a good point. I'm like, I kind of feel like a few other things. So I dipped back into Uncharted 3 again. Decided maybe I should try to push that a little bit further and see if I can beat it. And I'm not sure how much farther I have to go. I'm kind of at a good spot with it where like I've kind of had enough I'm like, all right, we're
Whereabouts are you?
so the president's back on the island, and I just defended this place where there's like just two boxes, and there's like fighter jets coming in.
Oh, Uncharted. You said Uncharted 3. I think I
Oh,
know which
geez, I'm
one
sorry,
it is.
not Just Cause 3. My
Yeah, I
bad.
was like,
Okay.
why are there jets?
I
Maybe
missed
some
the
of the
jets.
I
The
just got back
president.
in.
We'll
Yeah,
see.
'cause I was playing Uncharted 3 last night. Like that was the one where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get back into this now that I'm done Mad Max. Which, by the way, button mapping, muscle memory, and then jump from one game to another is so hard sometimes. Like, this is a button to run. Not in this game. That button does something entirely different. So, anyways, yeah, when you were talking about jets and stuff in Uncharted, I was confused, but now I'm not.
Diva Poly, man, with button mapping, like, yeah, that, God, I must have died 3 times because in my head, what was grappling hook was actually grenade. Like, oh, I better hop
Perfect.
onto that.
That's
Just
what you
like
want. Yeah.
soft lob a grenade just right at my feet. I'm like, nuts. Just blow up. And then I proceed to do it 2 or 3 more times, so I just can't get into my head.
Yeah.
My dad-addled brain that like, okay, this is the deadly grenade thing. Don't touch it, and just
Yeah.
every time, dead. Like, it's so frustrating.
Yeah, in
So I
Mad
don't think-
Max, sprint was trigger, and then in like Uncharted, trigger is gun. So like I'm trying to run away from things, and Nate's just standing there shooting his gun wildly in the air like he's in
Spring.
Desperado. It's like, just move, man. Get out of danger. There's a grenade. It's like, bang, 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 bang. It's like, oh.
So the it's gotten to Just Cause a bit. Trying to finish it, and just I hope it ends pretty soon. It's been great, but if it drags on, like I would like to finish it. Like I really would like to finish this one. Just cap it, check it
I
off.
remember the story, like the story missions being pretty to the point. There wasn't
Okay.
too much. If you were in was it like a bunch of tanks, or no, jets, right?
Yeah. So this is now again the president's in. Jets are streaming over top. Like I'm in an anti-aircraft gun shooting them down. And he's now said, and then like one of the traders takes off in a helicopter, and I'm chasing him in a motorcycle, which I ditched immediately because the motorcycle driving in this game is terrible.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, it's
Awful. I'll take a left turn. No, you won't. Just goes sliding off. So I end up chasing him in my parachute.
Yeah.
I'm just parachuting along on what should be an epic motorcycle chase. And I'm just like, I can't bother. Eventually, I just like I'm supposed to shoot him down, but instead I just like grapple up and like lob on a couple grenades and like jump off. And, like, I like when they try to force you down this epic path, and you just take instead a much easier,
Yeah.
less romantic path to like finish the job.
You have to play the game with the psychology of a cat, like a house cat. Just be like, oh, you want me to do this thing? Nah, I'm gonna do it this way. I don't care. Just like go at it like a house cat and just do whatever you want.
Yeah, just imagine like everyone's like watching this gate. He's like, all right, anytime now he's gonna come here, and like just this little dot parachuting in the background, just quietly going around the back. It's so much easier. I had a great time with that. Was playing a bit of Alone with You. It's funny because I find I can't really do. I haven't thus far been able to do more than a section at a time because in that game you're meeting different characters that are then simulated in the AI. And after that, it's like, okay, next day, let's go find somebody else. And it's like, that was a good chunk. I feel good about that chunk, and I don't.
That's kind of actually, and that's honestly how I've been playing it. Like it's a thing where it's like a book, and it's like, okay, that's a good chapter. And it's like I don't really feel like digging into a new chapter again. Like I'm satisfied. I'm gonna put a bookmark in, set it down for the night, go back at it again tomorrow.
Yeah,
Like it's one of those experiences where the morsel division is good, but there's no shame in being like, I'm good for the night. Like I've been
Satiated.
satisfied with that. Yeah, I'm satiated. I'm good. I'm gonna move on to something else and blow something up, or
yeah.
just go to bed.
Dude,
It's
it's interesting knowing you, having worked on the game and playing it, because I found a spelling mistake and I was chuckling. Like,
Uh-oh.
they misspelled when. They just missed a W, and I was laughing like, these guys. Oh, these guys. And then another time, like I broke the walking path, and I was going up onto the walls like in some weird distance. And again, it just caused me to like chuckle. I was like, "Oh, you guys."
Yep.
The like nothing game like it was so minute, but it's just a funny moment in knowing you, having you worked on the game, and I'm like, "Oh, Gavin."
What's pretty cool is I can kind of somewhat be like, it wasn't me, because all my stuff was just pixels. But
Well, pixels are on point.
thank you. Yeah, pixels.
So the other was I was playing a bit of Overwatch as well, which is a fantastic game. They released season 2. As far as the competitive thing, I'm not good enough to play competitive yet. You have to be level 25 to get into it. Apparently, see, the thing is, I was talking to
you in high school, basically.
Yeah, got to graduate to it.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. And apparently, it actually gets a little bit more, call it fun. It's just because at that point, people do have it. Well, people have a sense of what they're doing. At the moment, like you'll just get a lot of rogues and people are just flying all over, and there's no group work. And this is not Call of Duty. You have to work together as a team. Like you cannot just be one great player with 4 mediocre ones and win. Like that will never work. You got to be together. And if like this team that you've just been thrown in with are all lower levels or slightly higher, but they're not really interested in teamwork, you're still dead. So apparently, when you get to that level, that you start to be able to contribute at a team level. Like, okay, let's all do this particular thing. So I'm curious to try it. I'm terrified of it because I don't want to get yelled at by 14-year-olds because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to. And there seems to still be so much technicality to it, but man, it's still a blast. I'm telling you that I so badly want them to release a movie set in this world with the characters. There just seems to be so much rich lore that they could draw from. Like they have the whole arc. They could just like tell that particular story.
Nah.
Love to see it. How dare you, sir? How dare you?
I've seen the shorts. The shorts, I think, it fits it well, right? You get like the 10-minute.
Yeah, but imagine that just stretched out a little bit to like 50 or 60 minutes, like a full story.
Oh my god.
That would be...
I don't know. That's just me. I don't know.
Hey.
So much you can tell. I don't know.
I think Jeff's equivalent to like Geneva Convention definition of torture, being forced to watch an Overwatch feature-length film.
I don't
bringing
like the
nothing
game.
but
I can't
side
get
launch.
into the game. They had a free-to-play, I think, this weekend too on
Yeah,
PS4.
something like that.
Yeah, I saw that on
Like-
consoles.
I didn't do that because I don't know. Why tease myself? It's like, I don't got time for anything multiplayer at the moment, so why play a level multiplayer and then be like, I really like this. Now I gotta get PlayStation Plus at like $70 a year, and now I gotta get the game. And
Do you need it for that? I thought they said that you didn't need it.
I don't know.
I don't think so. And otherwise, you can also do it for
on there.
It's less about the PlayStation Plus or any of the other stuff. It's mostly just like I just do not have the hours.
Yeah.
Well, neither
But
do
yeah.
I. But that's so bad. That's
Just
fine.
yeah, it looks really beautiful. Like I think it is something that I don't know. Maybe sometime down the line I'll probably dig into because I like those types of multiplayer games where it's less about a single person dominating the map, a la Call of Duty, and more about like support classes. That's the one thing I really liked about previous iterations Battlefield was things like the engineer class. I love that. So I just run around fixing tanks and planting C4 and all those other fun things. Like I felt that sense of almost like fifth business contribution, where it's like
Yeah, see, I think you would get so one of my favorite players to play is Mercy, a support character. But not only are you healing though, you can also give somebody a damage boost. And in so doing, it's like you see the one guy that's about to go in and like try to take out the entire team. You target him, you give him like the boost, and you kind of stay on him a lot, like the medic and the heavy in Team Fortress 2.
Yeah.
You got this like stream and you're boosting them, but now you're a part of it. And you're actually getting points for the kills that he's getting because you were doing this like teamwork thing, and it's a blast.
Your
I see. You and I are playing very different games because what I see is everyone running off and then just a visual mess of just colors and hit points and people running around trying to kill each other. and then skulls popping up, and I'm dead. I don't know. It was maybe that was because it was a free to play weekend when I first did it. So maybe you don't have that teamwork aspect because people are just trying it out. They're like, I'll do it. And they run in like Leroy Jenkins and they
Yeah, he basically just jumped into the nude pool.
Yeah.
And it's just like a ball pit of chaos.
Yeah, there is no teamwork.
And that's what I'm kind of saying, that's where as soon as you do get into, you actually start playing competitive games, even if you're not.
What is it again, Trevor? Let's call it fun.
What's the words that I'm looking for? Enjoyable, if you will. Yeah, I hate to say it like that, but I just mean like that. Very much the Leroy, very much the teamwork. It seems like once you're doing it competitively, even if you don't care to like become pro and gain ranks, it's just more that the team knows that you have to do it. Thus, as a team, as I've been told, I don't know if I ever make it that high. I'll tell you the difference.
I wonder if that game would be like. 'Cause I remember with Battlefield, a buddy of mine and that was like the main way that we kept in touch, like long distance, was like we would just boot up Battlefield and we would chat and play, and we'd just be each other's like, cover each other's six kind of thing. And but like what was great about it is that we almost had like these like battle stories afterwards because we would just be playing together and we would be side by side the whole time, so we'd experience things together. And I wonder if Overwatch would have that sort of aspect to it as well, or whether it's a little bit too arena-ish for that.
Well, it depends on you, and like I don't know if it's just like being a dad or being old, but like I've never been good about I have a lot of social anxiety around gaming with other people and the requirements and like talking to other folks, like just random strangers, because a lot of my experience with it had been getting yelled at, and it's just like that's not what my gaming's about.
Pairing up with somebody you already know, like having like the buddy system.
Yeah. So again, like my friend who plays it, and he's super competitive. He's like really high up in levels, and he's just had random matches with people, and he had a really great experience with them. Like, hey, ZZ65894, like that. That was a great match. I'm gonna add you to my friend list, and they become friends. The guy's in Florida or New York or wherever, and he'll be online and he sees them and he's like, hey, good to see you on. You want to hop in a game together? Like you can have structured teams. You can choose your team of 6, right? Or 6 or 5. Jeez, I should know that.
Yeah, you should. Come on.
I should really know that. You can choose your team. So yeah, you can very much go as a buddy system and like have the 3 or 4 or 5 if you can get the entire crew of it. And again, I think it's just like I think if I had that social ability that social awareness within gaming, I might be able a bit better to navigate these things where I could like add folks to be my friends in this game, but I'm still I based on this guy's advice, I actually joined voice chat for a couple of my games. I'm like, you know what? Like just apparently you can talk to each other and it's very useful in this game. And I did, and nobody was talking. So I'm like, okay, do I like announce myself like, hello, new dad here? Any gamers out there?
Hey, who's got a mic? Talk to me.
Got my ultra ready. If you guys want.
I rarely put the mic on, so I don't know. You might be out of luck.
Man, I got so much anxiety about that. And it's just I want to relax. I want to have a good time, and I don't want to get yelled at by a 16-year-old who's so much better than me. So much better. That's right, Gavin. Get angry and throw things.
Yep.
So, I'm anyways. For all of this, though, that's all on the periphery. I'm still enjoying it like a damn lot. So that was the other game. So a decent sampling of games for myself this week. I want to get through some of that so I can get to Uncharted. I want Journey is free on PSN. And I really I've always wanted to play that one.
Play that one. That one co-op. Oh my god.
But can you that's a random co-op one, right?
Well, okay.
The best type of co-op.
Quickly, a funny story. I was playing, and it's like a 2-3 hour game, like from beginning to end, right? So I'm playing along, and you reach certain levels. I'm in second level, and I see another person pop up, right? So I'm like, oh, he's telling me to Like there's no speech in the game. There's no voice. There's no speech. You can hit a button and it has like a little symbol that pops up, so you know that somebody's trying to communicate with you. So this person was doing that and sending me over to a light. So I thought it was the AI teaching me how to do that level because something new was introduced in that level, but it turned out to be a person, because that person was doing it like spinning around me and stuff. So I'm like, okay, it's not AI. This is actually a human. And I went through the entire game with them from start to finish, like one sitting, because I felt bad if I left because there's no way to let him know that I'm leaving. But
That's interesting.
what's really cool,
I
I'll let Trevor
want
do
to
it.
come to bed, but I can't let this stranger down. He depends on me.
Yeah,
I
I'll
know
let
it's
Trevor
4 in the
do it.
morning.
But when you do play it, play all the way through. Like if you can in one sitting, great. 2 sittings, even better. That's fine. But wait until the end credits because there's a neat thing in there. That's all. But it's a neat game, and that's one of the co-op experiences that might be your baby step into social networking online, because you have to communicate a totally different way. Like you're doing like, I don't know, movements with your character to try and tell them something, and there's no voice. Like you just go and try and figure out the puzzles that are in the game. It's kind of neat.
Jeez, did I ever tell you about like the event I did with Street Fighter, like the random fight night for low level guys like myself who were playing it?
Oh yeah. And you
touched
went
on
and
it,
you
yeah.
Yeah, and
met with them.
I don't know if I mentioned like and that in itself in its entirety was interesting, and like everyone seemed relatively supportive. But some of the stuff that happened was like I even typed out messages like, okay, well it's doing Ryu. If you guys have any tips, or like that looks like I'm all up next. It's just small messages to try to put it out there, and just no response, nothing.
Oh.
Like, and that's like worse than like the feeling of like not doing it, like that you're too worried to do something, is when you do it and there's like actually just deadpan silence. Like everyone in the room looks at you like, who the hell brought the
What are you doing
brought
here?
the old man over here?
You're putting yourself on the line out there, and
Nice fanny pack, Dad. Get out of here. Like, how did they know about my gaming fanny pack?
fanny packs will be back.
Only the leather ones though.
Yeah.
Oh, it's weathered.
Yeah.
It seemed
So I did have a dad thing that. So it's a bit targeted to Jeff. As always, Gavin, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on it, because I'm curious if it's a boy thing.
Probably.
Which immediately hints to like what it's about.
Yeah.
So the wee man, whenever given the opportunity, just loves to yank on his penis.
Oh, dude, you're
Just like, and it's like literally it's troublesome even now, like when we're changing him, because he just so immediately goes down before I've had a chance to clean him up, and it's like, so it's like this like kung fu where I'm trying to like dodge him until I at least get him clean.
Yeah.
So I can like proceed, or he can like go at it, and like it's curious because like some part of it is too like he's super. I mean, he's like a year and 4 months now, so it's really particularly nothing. But it's kind of almost training myself as like I'm not, because I don't want to make a big deal of it. It's like, but in that, it's like it's like I don't want to attach negativity to that and like be like no, never, don't touch, like that's Satan's nose, don't touch that thing. Like,
Satan's nose. Wow.
I don't want like a Bates Motel situation on
Yeah.
Right, where so it's like you don't want to like call attention to it and like be like super excitable about that particular thing, 'cause it seems very natural, but at the same time like it does kind of a limit that you maybe want to introduce. Like maybe
Well, I'll tell you one thing that's definitely a boy thing.
well, by its very nature, but I mean as in like every boy.
Yes.
Like,
so try having 2, because they both go down there and they both run around naked, touching themselves, because that's what boys do. To help you out though, like what we've kind of implemented is
most straps.
Is you can do that stuff in the bathroom or your bedroom. Like that's kind of your safe zones. Anywhere else is off limits. Like it's just not good behavior. It's not good manners. Uh, you're not going to get that across to a 1-year-old. So I think now it's just discovery. I don't think you can get around it, right? So you can
And I'm
let
not,
that
and
slide
like,
until
I'm not worried about it necessarily. It's just
yeah, and you shouldn't be really.
just curious. It's just like, huh, that's happening a whole lot.
Oh,
And then
my,
it's more the bothersome when you're changing them because like, come on, just give me a
yeah,
second. I just need
yeah.
to.
No, you don't get a second. And my wife has never in her life dreamed that she would say some of the things like, don't put that in there. Don't do that to that. Like,
It's Thanksgiving dinner, please. Like,
honestly, there is so many things that never mind. Anyway, yes, it will get worse, but you can start talking them down from it. Like there's a time and there's a place. Please don't stick it in there or do that with that thing. Like there's
or please, we're at Canadian Tire. Just
yeah, bath time is like that's where it's at. It's bath time. And if you have 2 kids in the bath, that's just what happens.
yeah. Like I said, it's just that it's something I almost want to think through and have an approach for because yeah, just again, I just don't want to put so much like emphasis and weight on it that it becomes
I think the
this.
more you overthink it, though, the more
Yeah.
emphasis and weight it'll naturally have. Like, if he's going for it and you don't want him to go at it right then, just swat his hand out of the way. And
Or
get
misdirection,
up
right?
and- yeah.
Like,
Like,
hey,
that's
look at this
like,
ducky, and then
Or a transformer.
yeah,
Yeah.
if I'm changing her and like she's trying to get her hands down in the mess, because like girls are they are difficult for that sort of stuff as well. Um, but if I want her to just like, yeah, your hands don't need to be down here right now, just hold on to this stuff, and I'll just give her like a toy or we have a little bottle of lotion that we do for like bedtime massage and stuff like that, so we'll just give that to her. Basically, it's like, here's something more interesting,
Yeah.
and it just sort of gets her mind off of it, and it doesn't make it like a no-no thing. It's just like a yeah, okay, whatever, but look at this, and it's just redirect the attention, and that way there's no like oh, what sort of psychological thing am I doing? It's like no,
Yeah.
you're just playing to their you know baby attention span, and it's like, here's like set of keys, great, keep your hands out of the poop while I finish up.
It doesn't.
And
I mean, it doesn't help
that's
that. Like, I find it funny. Generally, like,
it's hilarious.
it's like they just go and I'm just like, oh, geez, look at him, look at it happen. And unfortunately, my wife it's like a little less entertained by it, which makes it more entertaining for me
Yes, I'm in the same boat. It's great.
because she's kind of
They
getting
don't know.
upset. Yeah, they don't have them. They don't understand. It's just
No, and they look at you. They're like, did you do this? Like, is this normal? Like, I don't want to search online. That's weird. Is this what's supposed to
yeah,
happen?
that's not a
Yeah.
Google search.
yeah, you're gonna have cops at your house. Do not search
yeah.
for that ever.
Not. That's like that's how you get your door kicked in by the cops. No, I have a kid. I'm just trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah.
Oh man, so it's yeah. So if anything, I'm like probably way too entertained by it. It's just so funny. But yeah, no, all right. So that's I assumed as much as it'd be natural. Still wanted to pick
Yeah.
your brain about it a bit. And it's good that yeah, I guess like the real, like Gavin said, just don't think too much on it and misdirect, and then for yourself, eventually you can. Sounds like eventually you can talk them down
Yeah.
or talk
it's
them
eventually
off,
gonna
if you
get to the
will.
stage where, like Jeff is at, we can actually reason with them. But right now, like you're in like primal baby mode, and primal baby mode can't be reasoned with. So just distract them with shinier things until they understand language enough that you can explain to them. This isn't
And
the best spot to do this.
Speaking of primal baby mode, I mean so this week my son will start to visit the toddler room at daycare, and then next week, this Friday, he is full time out of the baby room. He's up with the toddlers now, up into I guess they're 2, 3, maybe even 4. I haven't seen all the ages of the kids up there, but he's graduating on to the next class. And it's just yeah, it's a moment of like, huh, getting real big, aren't you, boy? How about that? There's a moment too when I was
They're putting him in the Thunderdome.
he's gonna be. I think it's gonna be great for his development. I'd be curious to see what happens now that he's not the biggest guy in class. if he has like assert dominance or if like how he handles it. Or I'm mostly excited about how much more I think he'll learn now from like bigger kids and seeing them do stuff. But there's definitely a moment where I was putting him to bed, and generally he's been great about going to bed. Like we don't really rock him to sleep anymore. We just give him kind of like a little bit of comfort and then set him down, and he sorts himself out very very quietly. Doesn't even like cry anymore. But there's just one moment I was trying to hold him, except his length now is beyond my upper torso, so it was like kind of hard to fit. And then he's kind of like pushing off and going in, and just like it's again that like moment of pain of like, you're not gonna get any smaller, are you? It's gonna keep getting. This is it, isn't it? Like that's the last moment as far as that tiny stuff. So I remember. So at one point when he was falling asleep, it was like just a super conscious effort to appreciate it, to like just drink in that moment and like memorize it, like how wonderful that is for setting him down. Because that's even like within months, I might not be able to do that. This guy's getting huge. It's a lot of baby.
You'll be tucking you in.
Yeah, please. Yes, please. So not interesting father moments, like just passing those barriers of like, not a baby,
man.
Not a baby no more.
Just think, 40 episodes ago, you were like, he's not gonna sleep. I don't know what I'm doing.
I want to go to bed. Now it's just like he's pushing me away, trying to get into bed. Like, no.
Put me down. I want to go to sleep.
Yeah. Let me go.
Dad, I'm 24. Please, knock it out.
40 episodes ago, you're like, what were you, bouncing on a yoga ball, playing Hearthstone with one hand?
Yeah, exactly.
Those are the days. Good old Hearthstone. I was thinking about that the other day. Would it be fun to get back into it? And I was like, I think I only have one time to get beaten. There's only one game I can get beaten at awfully at any one time, I think. And it was Hearthstone. I just got mopped until I could care less. Then it was Street Fighter. I keep thinking that keeps poking back at me. I keep thinking like I should probably get back in that a little bit. But now it's definitely Overwatch, and that's what I get killed in all the time. There's one game at least to bring me humility every little bit. So the sunrise, cats in the cradle with the silver spoon.
Wow. Single tear just down your face.
Yeah. So let's talk about beer.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's segue into alcohol now.
Yeah, perfect timing. So myself, I don't actually have the beer on me. I'd had it previously, but I just noted it. It was a oatmeal stout. Jeez, it's gonna be hard to pronounce. So it's from Left Field. It actually, geez, now that I think of it, I've seen this in the beer store and I'd never actually picked it up, and now I will. So it's from Left Field Brewery. It's Ephus Oatmeal Brown Ale. Ephus pronounced, or it's spelled EEPHUS. Ephus?
Sounds right to me.
Let's go with that.
Yeah.
Ephus Oatmeal Brown Ale. It is delicious. Super dark, very much for this time of year as we're coming into fall. Smooth, ton of flavor. That was just a fantastic beer. And like I said, I've been seeing this in the LCBO for quite some time. The label looked almost a little bit cheap, so I didn't really think much of it. But man, after trying it at a bar, it was just like, yeah, this is going to be picked up, especially for the upcoming season with fall and winter. So, Ephus Oatmeal Brown Ale from Left Field. Highly recommend it.
Nice.
Gavin?
I went with Downhill Pale Ale, Collingwood Breweries.
Oh, yeah.
It was tasty. Hoppy, a little sweet. All in all, though, it was good. It was kind of had that sort of quintessential microbrew kind of hoppiness to it, but not too much. You know, just on the cusp of being a little heavy, but didn't really overstay its welcome in that regard. And yeah, really the can caught my eye, and I'd heard good things about Collingwood, so I thought I'd give them a try. And I like pale ales, and this one's pretty tasty. It's definitely a a single pint. Just sip it, enjoy it. I don't know whether I would have like more than one. Like I don't think it's really a two in a row kind of beer. But all in all, it was really enjoyable.
And Jeff, yourself.
Yeah, I'll go along with that. Another IPA, Crosswind Pale Ale from Lake of Bays Brewing Company.
Oh, nice.
Um,
I like them.
it's another good beer. It's not too hoppy, so I could probably have a ton of these. These are great.
Jeff hinting at like, can we finish this up? I'm gonna go
Yeah,
for
I
it.
would totally go for another one here. No, it's
Finish a
awesome.
solid 6, you know.
Yeah, I didn't think much of it. The can is actually kind of boring. It's just a little like biplane and a brown kind of
I like
background.
how the biplane's tilted because it's getting hit
Yeah.
with the crosswind.
Yeah, the Crosswind, right? Yeah. So, yeah, I'll pick this one up again. But yeah, awesome, ice cold. It's great. Again, not too hoppy, smooth going down. 5%. It's good. Recommend.
Nice.
Then 3 good beers this week. Good
Boom,
work,
boom,
gents.
boom. Yeah.
3 check marks. That's good to see. Cheers, indeed. So I think with that we can wrap it up for the week. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming. If you have any questions, thoughts, or show ideas, please reach out to us on our website at newdadgaming.com. We're also on Twitter and Facebook. If you'd like to subscribe to the podcast, we're on iTunes, Google Play, as well as any other podcasting service you do have. And as always, want to thank you for listening. Subscribe, rate it, and send it around to friends, especially dads. Smooth, like beer.
Nice.
I was waiting for it.
That's what the best part is, like in the corner of my eye, I'm watching Gavin's face.
Yeah, just
It
lighting up.
slowly
Just like he's
contorts. Just
gonna
waiting
do it.
for me to blow it. I practiced that today. I'm not kidding. Like, I went through my head. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get it this time. It's gonna be real smooth. Everybody, my name is Trevor, and I have a 1-year-old.
My name is Gavin, and I have a 1-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I got a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old.
See you next week, guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Man, your face came so close to throwing me off. Just like, it's like playing Doom, and you're seeing like this, your little avatar contort like constantly. It's like going.
Do it,
Oh.
do it, do it.